Hello. Hi. Quack. Hi everyone. How you doing? How you doing? Wait, let me turn my music down. It's too loud. It's too loud. As always. I say that every time. I never have it at like a comfortable volume before I start talking. You'd think that I'd learn how to do that by now. Hello. Hello M0. Hello Hogan. Hello HQ Gamer. Hello, Miguel. Hi, Nightmind. Thank you so much for the resub. Oh my gosh, 4 months already. That time has flown. I am terrified by how quickly my life is disappearing before my eyes. Thank you though. Thank you very much. And hi, Professor Duchy. Hello. How you all doing today? How is everybody? How you all doing? I had to take an extra minute to get myself ready because I am in pain. I'm not gonna lie, I'm in pain. Hydrate, thank you. That's relevant to what I was about to just say, actually. I will hydrate. I've got some tea. 1 second, wait. I've got tea and I've got water, as usual. Wait, is this too hot? It was too hot, but I drank it anyway. That was probably a bad decision. There was despair behind that laughter. There was. There really was. The despair is so real. My life is, yeah, it's going. Stop the ride, I want to get off. It's going too fast. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Currently experiencing a blackout? Oh no, I'm sorry. I hope you're okay. And I hope you're safe, and I hope you're all good. I know it's not good, but yeah, we're all thinking about you. I'm okay. I'm glad. I'm glad. It will come back eventually, won't it? Eventually, one day they'll get there. But yeah, from what I've read, it's gonna take a while, isn't it? It's controlled. Oh, I see. It's controlled. I see. It's one of those. Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it's not for too long. Hopefully they can repair things quickly. Yeah, you've also redeemed Be Mindful. Very cool. I've got the card out. It's I'm not doing that one. I'm not doing that one. We'll do that one another time. Not today. Not today. I read that I read it and I was like, that's too much effort. I don't want to do that. Okay, okay. This one's better. This one's better. I've got the card. Kindness card. It's just that someone did huge damage to our infrastructure. Yes, I'm fully aware. Yes. Yes, we're all, I think, well, me and Husbando are aware. We watch the news. Yeah, it's pain. It's pain. Every time we see anything, we're like, oh no. Oh no. It's actually rolling blackouts over the entire city, so it's like half the houses have the electricity, half don't. Okay, at least they're doing it fairly. Oh, it's back. Oh, okay. At least they're doing it fairly. That makes sense. That makes sense. I think that they've actually done something similar in England at one point, saying that. I'm pretty sure in my area when I was growing up in England, there was a period where there's like something happened. I can't remember what. And then like they had to do rolling blackouts over just like our specific area for like a week. Obviously a week's not much. Like you adapt to it pretty quickly. It was my magical girl magic. I've changed the perception so that there is no longer any blackout. It was all in the mind. But yeah, how's everybody hanging? How's everybody hanging? I am yeah, so there was indeed pain behind the laughter because I am having some serious like allergy flare up. I think I said it last stream, but it's getting worse. It's like the sinuses are just so angry. I've got angry sinuses. So if I sound very, very congested today, I apologize sincerely. It's because I am indeed congested. So yeah, that's how I'm doing. Definitely could be doing better. Yeah, that's a mood. That's a mood. I think, yeah, I think it's all perception, isn't it? It's all how you think about it. You know, I try and tell myself, like, you know, life isn't actually that bad. Life's pretty good. Life's pretty good. It's a bit stressful at the minute. I'm stressed, but, you know, I've got a lot of things to be grateful for too. So I try and keep that in mind. Yeah. I may have a constant sinus headache, and you know, people breathing down my neck to do work and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But, you know, I'd rather take, I just spilt my tea on myself. Brilliant. I'd rather take that than you know, an actual, you know, serious health thing. I think most people get allergy flare-ups at some point, don't they? It's just wrong. Brilliant, and it's so true. By doing mindfulness, yes, exactly. Speaking of mindfulness, so today's mindfulness activity is a kindness card. So we're going to do an act of kindness today. Very cool. Okay, so the card says, hide a note for someone that you care about, letting them know that they're doing great. Takes a little bit of effort to do, but it will mean the world to receive. That's cute. That's a cute idea. So yeah, it could be, I don't know, friend, family, colleague, partner, online friend. You could hide something in an online message somewhere. It's possible. It's possible. I have no idea how I would do this. I'm very bad at this kind of stuff. I think if I had to hide a note, where would I hide a note? If I was hiding I think about my work colleagues, right? So I'm going to think about my work colleague who sits on the desk, like 2 down from me. If I was going to hide something for her, a nice message, where would I put it? She doesn't come in every day. She's kind of got 2 offices now. She kind of moves between the offices. Because she finished her PhD. She's doing better than me. She's powering through stuff like an absolute legend. Well, gosh, where would I put it? We've got like little like locked cabinets in our office. Probably I put it in there. I don't know what I'd say though. You're doing great. You finished your PhD. Look at you, absolute legend. I'm not sure what else to put. Yeah, it just says to leave a note saying that, letting them know that they're doing great. I think that's quite cute. But yeah, that's the mindfulness ritual today, is a kindness, random act of kindness. Write a nice note for somebody and hide it. Sounds a little bit backhanded. Look, anything that I say in my accent sounds a little bit backhanded. Let's be honest. Have you ever actually had have you ever heard a sincere compliment from like an English person? They don't exist. If an English person walks up to you and is like, "Oh my god, I love your bag," you know they hate it. They hate it. It's just pure sarcasm. Everything that I say comes out dripping in pure sarcasm. It's terrible. I wish that I could be sincere, but even if I say things sincerely, it still sounds awful. Wait, really? Yeah, it just sounds like it. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It just, okay, so like obviously most of my colleagues are Irish, right? And if they say something nice, it sounds so nice when they say it. Like, I have this one colleague that is like, every time compliments people, right? And like, there was this one time where I walked into the office and she was like, "Oh my god, I love your skirt. It's absolutely incredible. Where did you get it?" Right? Happy, friendly, approachable, nice. If I say it, if I walk into the office and go, "Oh my god, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?" It sounds sarcastic. It's literally the same sentences, but it sounds sarcastic. Like, having a British accent, it's like an automatic nerve, because everything you say sounds really horribly sarcastic. It's terrible. There's no winning. What am I meant to say? What am I meant to say to make it sound actually serious? I don't know. I don't know what the secret is. Just channel your colleague whenever you need to compliment somebody. Easy. Yeah, or just start talking in an aggressively awful Irish accent. I think that's a terrible idea and definitely won't cause problems in my workplace. That definitely won't get me a HR complaint. Oh my god, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I just started putting on a really bad Irish accent every time I went to work? I think the fact that I'm English would make it like even more offensive as well. That's not good. Oh no. 0 out of 10, terrible advice. Oh my god. No. Terrible, terrible. Also, I forgot to say hi-fi, welcome in. Coming straight in with a terrible HR advice. I didn't even process that you'd entered. Excellent. Don't knock it till you try it. I think I will knock it. I think I will knock it completely because it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. It's just gonna get me accused of like, I don't know, like colonial crimes. It'll be terrible. And that's not good. Not good at all. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. So, I don't have anything specific planned for today. As always. As always, I'm not capable of planning. I need like 4 weeks to plan a single thing. So, I'm thinking. Here's my idea. So, there was a paper that we read a little while back that we could go back over because there's been some spicy stuff come out about it. I do believe it got a correction or potentially an expression of concern. I can talk about what those mean. Let's see, was it this one? It was indeedy. It says, you know what, let's go over that in a second actually. We'll talk about that in a second. But I think I need to find the specific, there was like a blog post about it. That's what I'm thinking of. So I'm thinking maybe we could read the blog post and then have a think about what all of that means. And then also I think there might have been a study that I started reading and didn't finish. I can't remember if I finished it. Which is pretty bad. So yeah, that's a thing. Let's see. Where is this blog post? I'm trying to find it. This is why I should prepare things. There's yeah. Was it a blog post actually? Was it? No, I don't know. I thought I saw it on Twitter, but I can't find it. Let's Google. Google's always the answer, I think. Google's always the answer. Critique? There we go. Okay. There you go. I've got the article. That's a start. Stuff. But yeah. Aside from that, I swear I'm so tired. Oh, today I finished a results section for my next chapter, which is very good. I thought I'd finish the whole chapter because I kind of had, but then I realized actually I hadn't. I realized that I had missed out an entire data set, which is very, very nice. Is it this one? One? Yes. You know what? I actually don't. I read somewhere that there was criticisms about this article, and it says on the article that there's criticisms about the article, and then I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. I'm literally just Googling the paper and the methodological issues. I know that this was somewhere. And I cannot for the like it's just disappeared. It's just disappeared. It doesn't exist. Is it this one? Perhaps. Nope, that's just the paper. Okay. Has this critique just disappeared off the internet? It was like the top result before. What's going on? This is so strange. Congrats, thank you. I'm doing my best, I think. We'll get there at some point. But yeah, it does keep, I keep having this thing where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting there. Yay, I'm doing so good. And then I'm like, oh, I've forgotten a whole data set. Or like, oh, I forgot to report a whole bunch of the analyses that I pre-registered. So I have to go back and change it again, which is rather annoying, to be honest. 2023. Okay. You know what? I think we're just going to have to work with what we've got here. Because for the life of me, I cannot find this critique, which I definitely should have looked up before I even started the stream. Scammed rate, so true, so true. I wanted to actually walk through the critique, which is really sad, you know? It's really sad. I was looking forward to walking through the critique, because from what I remember, it was actually quite an interesting critique. Yeah, it's just disappeared. Oh, wait a second. Was it this one? No, it wasn't this one. No, okay, that's just a random blog post. Okay, I give up. Academics are painful. I mean, it's Psydere. It's so true. So true. Favorite streamers like a friend. They might not be the best or do it the best, but you'll be there for them and grow together. Exactly. That's exactly what it's like, isn't it? Especially with smaller streamers. That's how I feel with a whole bunch of people. I have a fundamental issue with like parasocial discourse in the VTuber space, because loads of things get labeled as being parasocial and it just doesn't fit the definition of parasocial. So like, for example, if it's a smaller streamer, let's say hypothetically, if it's a smaller streamer who actually responds to chat, that's an interaction. And then on top of that, if there's like, you know, like say for example a Discord server where you're all interacting, including the streamer, that's interaction too. So at that point, it's a two-way reciprocal interaction, which is by definition not parasocialism. Parasocialism is one way, where like one person feels like they're interacting with another person when there's actually no way for them to interact. So traditionally it was like around celebrities, and then it started to be around influencers. But it's not parasocial, because even with big streamers, there's still a chance that they could respond. So I don't know. I feel like I need to I want to delve into like parasocialism as a concept, and then like map out a whole bunch of other related concepts and try and work out what exactly VTubers are, because I feel like they're kind of in a grey zone that doesn't fit either definition. And then like, if they are in a grey zone that doesn't fit either definition, how do you then like, what is the term? What is the term that fits that grey zone? Chat, she's married, you stand no chance. So true. So true. I think that's one of the things that I like though, is that like, you know, I've just been very upfront about that from the beginning, because every now and then I watch like, you know, streamers who are a bit more like, how can I describe it? Like playing into the parasocial side of things, but like in the kind of like romantic or lewd implied kind of way. And then yeah, and then every now and then, like, you know, I'll have someone on in the background and they'll be doing that, and then they'll be like, oh, but you know, I have a partner, so I don't feel comfortable with this. Please don't act like that. And I'm like, I don't know how to process that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that it's the kind of thing that people should just be open about. I mean, obviously, if they're playing a character or something, it's kind of different, but I don't know. For me personally, I value being like just open and honest. And obviously also Husbando is funnier than me, so that helps. Helps that he's become a solid part of the stream. Oh dear. Press X to doubt. That's not true. It's very true. There's no doubt. You are funnier than me. But yeah, that's I find that very interesting. I also like, these are the kinds of things that I want to be able to think about more, but unfortunately my brain is full of flat earth, so I can't. I think it's just sometimes the audience member might feel like the relationship is more than what it actually is. Yeah, see, that's what I find really, really interesting, right? Is that it is, like asymmetrical. That's a good word for it, Miguel. Like, it's asymmetrical, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's parasocial. Because parasocial has a very, very explicit definition, which is where there is no chance that that person will recognize that you exist. Like, for example, if you've got like a in your mind, if you've got a relationship with a fictional character, like, I don't know, like an anime character or something like that, then, you know, like all of those kids that get like really, really obsessed with one character and they like act as though they're their friend or something, like that's parasocial. But, or like those stories of people that like marry Hatsune Miku or something, right? That's parasocial. But a streamer fundamentally has the capacity to respond to you. And actually a lot of the time, like, that's how streaming works. Like a lot of streams are kind of dependent on the interaction aspect. So yeah, I think asymmetrical is probably a much better word for it. Because it's like, it's more likely that you will be able to respond at them than they will respond to you, depending on the size of the stream. I don't know. I find this interesting. This is fun kind of thing that I like to disentangle. The word parasocial came about before the internet, and often it was about people who thought singers and stars were their friend or something. Yeah, no, it's a genuine psychological concept. It's another one of those examples of like concept creep. So it's really common for like social science or, well, science words in general, but especially psychological words to get like what we call concept creep. So they mean a specific thing in an academic context, but then they kind of get snowballed out because members of the public start to use it without really understanding what it means. Like we see it a lot in terms of mental health terminology. So like, I think like triggered is a really good one. Triggered means something very, very specific in a psychological context. Like it does not mean what it has come to mean in daily speech. But yeah, people keep using it wrong, and now the wrong use of it, like the academically wrong use of it, that is, has kind of become the accepted use of it. But then that puts professionals in a really weird place because like we use these words. Gaslighting's another one, actually. I've just remembered. Everyone calls everything gaslighting now, but it means something very, very specific. But yeah, like professionals try and use these words to communicate something, and then because people have preconceived notions of what the word means, even though it means a very specific thing, it ends up being generalized, and then they go away and use it in an inapplicable context. And that's kind of what happened with parasocial. Like parasocial means specifically, you know, like an entirely one-sided, you know, relationship, a fictional relationship that's entirely in the person's head. And it's been kind of concept creeped out to mean any kind of asymmetrical interaction, especially online. I don't know. I find this, even the like the process of just concept creep happening, it's so interesting. Why does that happen? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? It's super cool. Aromantic parasociality. Now that's an interesting thing to study. Right? Yeah, because like people always think like, I guess like the kind of traditional like influencer parasociality of like, you know, oh, I can imagine them being my friend, and then you start to feel like they are your friend. That's kind of aromantic parasociality, right? But then like certain streamers, and I think especially, well, I don't know if it's especially VTubers, but I only really know VTubers. VTubers do have a kind of romantic parasociality, and then like, yeah, obviously other types of parasociality. But yeah, it's interesting to think how the different domains like intersect. So like, for example, I don't know, if someone's doing like lewd parasociality, someone else is doing like romantic parasociality. There are also obviously creators that do both lewd and romantic parasociality. I mean, there's loads of like, you know, ASMR lewd girlfriend role plays and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting how like sometimes they intersect, whereas sometimes people are like, no, this is a hard boundary. You know, this is like friend parasociality or romantic parasociality, but absolutely no lewdness. I'm in a relationship and that's a boundary. Like that's so interesting to me. I would love to be able to like talk to streamers about how they set their boundaries on these kinds of things. Like I would love to know the thought process behind setting the boundaries. Repeating a bit but it's like a streamer will often be friendly or is being nice as a job, and the audience members might feel like they have a genuine or close connection. It's kind of modern parasocial relationship. Yeah, I guess so. It's almost like I guess almost like the streamer's role playing, but the viewer doesn't realize it's a role play. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Obviously, I only like I stream as a hobby, so like. Actually, that reminds me. I watched a video last night by Squeegee. I will find it very quickly. But it was like talking about. Well, personally, I think that the definitions, the like kind of what's the word, the organizational psychology behind it. I think it was based on like one main book, and it was a little bit outdated, which is totally fine. That's totally fine. It's not their area of expertise, so I wouldn't expect it to be anything else. Like. It was still useful information. Hang on, let me find the link. There we go. There's the link. But yeah, it was this video about VTubing as a career versus as a job versus as a hobby versus as a vocation. So the kind of rough idea is that they all mean different things. So obviously I stream as a hobby. I have a job. I have a thing. I have a career. My career is scientist. You know, I have a specific job that I do within that career. Well, actually, I have multiple, but you know, specifics. But then VTubing, although it's tied to my career, it is a hobby. Like, I would never quit my job just to do VTubing full time because I don't think I would find that fulfilling. Like, I enjoy doing it because I can kind of talk about stuff that I find interesting related to my career. But if I don't want to do anything to do with science, I don't have to. Like, I can have a break. I can just sit down and just talk absolute nonsense, or I can draw some strange things on stream, or I can play games, or I can just chat with everybody. Like, yeah. We're a side chick rather than side duckies. Yeah, sorry. I don't know how to tell you this, but I've got another job. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. I've got a genuinely weird setup with it though, because like, how can I explain this? So like the distinction for me is quite blurred. So like, I say VTubing is my hobby because it is. I like just do it because of the pure enjoyment of it. But it's also kind of my career and also kind of my vocation. So a vocation is like the calling, the thing that like you wake up and you're like, this is what is important to me. This is what gives my life meaning, and this is what I want to do. Like, and I will find a means to do it no matter what. I think I kind of get. I express that through VTubing rather than it being VTubing specifically. So like, VTubing is a hobby that simultaneously links into my career because I can, you know, use it as evidence of science communication. But I also don't have to. And then it also ties into my vocation in the sense that, you know, I can talk about the sciencey stuff that I really care about, and I can do the science communication that I'm excited about, and I've got a way to like creatively express myself, which is a big part of it for me personally. Like, you know, I do most of my well, pretty much all of my own assets, so I get a way to like, you know, have art for like just because I want to do it, but then also like I get some use out of it as well, which is what I find really fulfilling. I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting. Like when, yeah. Because obviously if someone's just like, you know, logging onto the stream and playing games, then that's either a hobby or I guess gaming could be their vocation. And then VTubing in itself can become a job and it can become a career. But then like, if I wanted to set it up so that I had time for science communication in my work plan, and that happened to be VTubing, I could probably do that. So it's a really weird position to be in, but I feel very lucky with it. Like I can basically just kind of, yeah, have the proportion that I want without it causing any problems. And obviously I'm writing my PhD on thesis a lot. No, I'm not on thesis, on stream. I'm writing my thesis on stream. There we go. That's what I was trying to say. I'm writing my thesis on stream a lot of the time, which is arguably career and job. And then, I mean, could you even say that that part is a hobby? It's more just streaming the work process because I think people might find it interesting, and it also because it helps me. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I would love to just be able to sit down and map this stuff out. Like, oh, I swear, I've got like a serious case of content brain recently. Like, I don't know. I have so many ideas for stuff that I want to do, and I just don't have the time or energy to do it. It's very sad. Mostly time, actually. Mostly time. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Fine. Get yourself an idea notebook. I already have one. I've got a fairly extensive like a markdown file. Oh yeah, I do. I have a markdown file. Well, several markdown files where I'm keeping notes, and I've got like a Kanban board and everything. It's very excessive. Very excessive. There was no need for any of that setup, but I did it anyway. Because I've got 3 brain cells and I will forget everything that I come up with otherwise. So, yeah. Oh, this is so common in philosophy, like idealism, materialism, etc. They're all words that the public took and used very differently. Yeah, so, hi Miguel, did I say hi to you yet? I don't remember if I did. Hi, if I didn't. Hello again if I did. I can't remember. My brain is I've taken my medicine. So I've taken my like allergy medicine a little while ago. So if I start just going completely off the rails, that's why. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Quack, yes. Wow, that was something. That was something. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I think it's a thing in all academic disciplines, to be honest. The concept creep. It's something. It's really something. And like philosophy, I think is particularly interesting because like it's big words, right? So people want to use it to sound smart. Like I had the the pleasure or misfortune of listening to a very strange conversation. It was like an excerpt. It was like an excerpt of a podcast, and it was like these two kind of like, you know, like internet guru figures talking to each other about something. For the life of me, I couldn't tell you what it's about because they were just stringing together big words and they were saying nothing. It was the pseudo profound BS that I love so much, where they just put loads of big words together and pretend it means something meaningful. But yeah, it was that, and that seems to be the particularly like strong thing for philosophy is yeah, people using big words like my epistemology dictates this, that, and the other, and it's like, do you know what that means? I do not think that word means what you think it means, you know? What do you mean she doesn't know who I am? I sub. For real though. I've actually seen people have that kind of response and it's quite yeah. Yeah. Hostess clubs, girlfriend experience, yeah. Parasocial relationship, except you're my nemesis. That's a concept. I think that might be a concept that could be run with, actually. I think that's interesting. I like that. But yeah, I think hostess clubs and like, you know, girlfriend experience stuff, like it all kind of ties into the same parasocial stuff, doesn't it? It's kind of all and even like the AI chatbots. AI chatbots are particularly interesting when it comes to parasocialism because in that case it's something that's giving the illusion of responding. So in your mind it's genuinely not a parasocial relationship, but also it kind of is because it's not a person, right? It's like it's just a statistical model. So is that parasocial? Like if you have a parasocial relationship with ChatGPT, like is that parasocial? This is the kind of thing that like I find so interesting. All of these like parameters, you know, the boundary conditions. We need to find the boundary conditions of parasocialism in relation to VTubers. I'm going to put together a grant application on this. Character.ai, a girlfriend, a wife, and psychologist on 3 tabs of your browser. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be... I wouldn't even be surprised if people did that. I wouldn't be surprised. Cringe, but when I was new to Twitch, I kind of wanted to try to be friends with streamers and realised over time that they were just being nice and didn't want to be my friend. Yeah, I think it kind of depends on the streamer though. Because like, I know some people explicitly start streaming because they want friends and because they want a community. Also, sorry, I just realised that you hydrate redeemed Nightmine. Thank you. I'll have some tea. I've got chamomile today, chamomile tea. But yeah, like some people specifically start streaming because they want like a community, or they want to develop friends with either with the community or with other creators or whatever. Some people like they don't expect that, but then that kind of happens. That was what happened to me. Like I started VTubing and I was like, I'm just gonna make like, you know, I'm just gonna do science lectures and stuff and nobody's gonna want to actually talk to me. I'm just gonna do the science. And now I've ended up like having a really nice community and I've got loads of like streamer friends and I'm happy. But yeah, it really does depend on the person. With bigger streamers, definitely, like I would say they're probably not interested because you just get so much of it. Like as the number of viewers increases, so does the number of people that want to be your friend. Like I don't know anybody that's like really, really, really massive, but I know a few people that have got numbers, significantly higher numbers than me, let's put it that way. And yeah, like even just the amount of DMs that you get from other creators trying to hit you up for collabs and stuff, like even that but starts to become unmanageable if you haven't got like somebody to help you manage your social media. So yeah, that's a thing. And I think that was probably quite overwhelming. And then on top of that, you've also got the viewers essentially wanting to be your friends too. And yeah, I think also like we're not really taught to communicate how to set boundaries in that way. Like people, obviously this varies a lot by culture, but like in British culture, you're not really taught to be able to say no to people. You're just kind of taught to like politely avoid the topic. So like for I know loads of people who have had some like a co-worker, like yeah, someone that they work with be kind of weird towards them, and then like they don't actually do anything about it. They just kind of go like, haha, yeah, anyway, what did you think about the football last night? Haha. And then they just kind of avoid the person. Like British culture is very much avoidance. And like from what I understand about American culture, it's a little bit more direct, but it's also kind of similar. Like people don't like, my understanding of American culture is like being like rude to people is like the ultimate like, what are you doing? It's kind of the same in the UK too, but like we're not very friendly over here. Like I say over here, Ireland's super friendly. I think Ireland is where like America got the friendliness from. But like yeah, no, England is not very friendly as a place. People don't really like to talk to each other very much, so they're also not really taught to socialize in a way that's explicitly setting boundaries, which is super interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I find cultural differences so interesting, like the way that it affects people's ability to like respond to situations. I find that so interesting. There's a whole area of psychology called cross-cultural psychology that's literally just that. Like it's just studying how things like that make a difference. Hi Orashiro, hello. Sorry, I'm like really behind on chat because I've just been yapping. I'm sorry. Welcome in. How are you today? I hope you're good. Concept brain's the strongest when procrastinating. That's literally so true. Like I will sit there and I'll be like, I have no like interest in writing my PhD, but I have to. Anyway, here's 17 different ideas for video essays that I could do one day. It's terrible. It's terrible. Hi Taken, welcome in. When you're changing your avatar to a furry one, literally never. Literally never. It's not happening. I'll do cat ears one day if you want that. Maybe. If you can convince me, I might do cat ears. Made outfit is also possible. The good thing about having a Vroid model is that I can basically do whatever I want with it. So there is like a preset like made outfit that I could put on. There's like preset cat ears that I could use. Like I can actually just like I can actually export my model again so that I haven't got a lab coat on. And sometimes I might do that to just change up the outfit a bit because yeah, the lab coat is cool, but I do actually have an entire playsuit on underneath it, which is quite nice. So maybe I'll get that out one day. Who knows? Wild. That's every time I listen to Zizek. Yeah, so true. I swear, like Zizek's so weird because like every now and then you'll get a few sentences come out like really coherently, and you're like, wow, that's a good insight. And then like the rest of the time, it's just like words. It's so strange. I think words for the average person evolve over time around what's currently going on, where like in science it doesn't happen like that. Yeah, I mean obviously like scientific terminology does evolve over time. So like for example, if there's progress on a theory, then you know the words used to describe the theory will adjust accordingly. But so like for example, like particle, right? I think that's probably a good example. Particle, when particles were first discovered, they were called particles because they were just considered to just be parts, right? Of a whole. And obviously that still kind of applies, but the more we learn about them, and then like the more we learn about different levels of particles, like the less it applies. Like like if you start getting to like particle kind of has developed to mean something else, like it's a lot more of an abstract concept than it was originally intended to be, which is very, very interesting. Sorry, it's real, it's the site. I forgot what that was about. This is my bad for being like already like 10 minutes behind on chat. That's, oh gosh. A lot of people started streaming during the pandemic because they wanted more human interaction during quarantine. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've seen the numbers. The numbers on Twitch absolutely skyrocketed. It's kind of funny because like during the pandemic, I didn't actually watch streamers that much. Like it wasn't like streaming wasn't really on my radar. In fairness, I was like, as in like in 2020 and 2021. In fairness, I was finishing a master's and starting a PhD at the same time. So, so that kind of got in the way. Yeah, no, my lockdown was I didn't watch streamers. I watched I played a lot of Animal Crossing. I got like 300 hours on Animal Crossing. And yeah, we watched all of My Little Pony, including all of the spin-offs. So yeah, I did not end up watching streamers. It was actually not until like 2022, I think, that I started watching streamers properly. And then started, you know, myself last year in November. So I'm still very like new, and I'm still learning a lot about like streaming culture. So like I keep hearing people talking about like, oh, this stream is absolutely legendary, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Do you mean the original where Ponyland will explode? What? No, I didn't watch that. I didn't watch that. No, it was the previous generation. There's like a new one that's come out now, which I don't know anything about. But yeah, the previous generation, the one that was well, when did that start? I don't even remember. Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice way to pass lockdown. It was kind of nostalgic because I used to watch it when I was a teenager as well, and then I kind of cycled back round to it because it was one of those things where we were just flicking through TV, and then I was like, huh, I haven't watched that in a while. Many years actually, and then rewatched it. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah. You went from no talking to no science. Don't call me out like this, psychic salad. So true, actually. So true. Also, welcome in. How are you doing today? I hope you're good. Yeah, no, I did go from no talking to no science. I talk too much now. It's like literally reversed. It's so bad. I mean, I'm talking about science stuff, right? It's like we're talking about psychology and philosophy and even a little bit of particle physics, so it's fine. It's fine. Today, chamomile tea. Tomorrow, valerian root extract. Day after tomorrow, who knows? That's kind of my process, to be fair. That's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. Yeah. Oh no. It's, yeah. Valerian root is that I think that's the anti-anxiety one, right? Here's a fun fact. I know a lot about what's the word? Like herbal stuff, like herbal remedies. So this is a really weird thing, but like I technically have like a qualification in herbal remedies, which is really, really funny for somebody who like studies what I study. Very funny. But yeah, I know quite a lot because of a job that I had before, which is quite amusing. So yeah, valerian I think was for anxiety, and then there was like St. John's wort, which was meant to be like an antidepressant, but it turns out that it actually has like a similar mechanism to SSRIs, like selective, what's the word? Selective, what do they stand for? Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which is a type of antidepressant. So like if you are taking SSRIs, then you can't take St. John's wort because you can actually overdose and give yourself serotonin syndrome, which is very unpleasant. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. I've seen it happen to somebody and it's horrible. Oh, back to jargon. There was a historical shitpost where people realised that the military will buy anything with enough jargon and intellectual BS. There's like an hour-long video of a guy explaining a made-up machine in the most complicated way. If you knew what he was saying, you would know it's nothing. I think I know the one that you mean. The oh, what was it called? Oh, Husbando, you love this video. Help me out. Help me out. No, I'm gonna find it. It was a parody. I know exactly the one that you mean. So there's like this journal that publishes like parody physics stuff. The parody video, the parody machine, this is gonna annoy me. Wait, jargon parody. Wait, I will find this. Me and Husbando are gonna race to find it now. The turbo encabulator, that's the one. the turbo encabulator. So basically it's this thing. It was published in a journal, in the Students' Quarterly Journal, which was published by the British Institution of Electrical Engineers, right? It was a parody paper. You must roll. Wow. I'm getting concerned about the gacha. I think this might be a problem. But yeah, no, the turbo encabulator, it was published in an actual journal, like an actual student's journal that was published by an actual like scholarly society. And it's literally just like words strung together that sound fancy and scientific, but they don't mean anything. It's like, the original machine has a baseplate of prefabulated aluminite surmounted by a malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two main spurving bearings were in direct line with the pentametric fan. The latter consisted simply of 6 hydrocoptic, oh no, I can't even say this, Marslebanes, so fitting to ambifacient lunar wane shaft that side fumbling was effectively prevented. Like, it means nothing. It's so funny though. It's so funny. I like that. And like, it's been done over and over again, but yeah, there's a video version. I think there was a video version. When was it from? Oh yeah, right. So they created a data sheet. General Electric created a data sheet, and then there was like a recording. Who was it? Bud Haggart, an actor. Yeah, they filmed it in 1977. And then they did a more modern version in 2011, possibly, called the Retro Encabulator. And then they did another one in 2020 that was called the Sans ICS Hyper Encabulator. And it just keeps like it's the same joke just being iterated over and over again with more modern techno jargon, but it's so funny. It's so funny. 10 out of 10. Peak engineering comedy, I think. There's also shitification, where mediocre and average started out as neutral and gradually gained negative connotation. That's true, actually. That's true. If someone's described something like mid, that's another one, isn't it? Mid. Why do people say that mid means bad? Why has that happened? What is the psychology behind this? Why is mid bad? That's so interesting. So interesting. There are American subcultures too. Remember New Yorkers being kind but not nice. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that. It's not like London. People in London are not kind and not nice. It's terrible. But then like Scottish people are kind but not nice. Are Scottish people just the New Yorkers of the British Isles? Is that how that works? Americans have culture. Oh, Southerners being nice but not kind. Is that a thing? That's surprising. I've only ever met a few Southern Americans. No. Like Southern US Americans, yes. I've only met a few Southern US Americans, but like they've always been nice and kind. So that's interesting. Maybe the ones that are kind leave. Domination culture. So true, actually. There's like a concept called I realized I'm getting louder because I think my music got louder. I'll turn it down again. There's like a concept in social psychology called social dominance orientation, which is like your preference for like people and groups being in a hierarchy. Whoa. What's that? What is that? I've discovered a strange toggle. But yeah, like a preference for dominating others or being dominated. We're talking about in terms of social hierarchies. I'd like to be very clear. So yeah, there's like this personality trait that's like a preference, but it does vary between cultures, which is interesting. I wonder how it varies across the US states. I know for a fact there's been a study on that. I read it during my master's. I was away for a minute and I thought I came back to BDSM. No, I was just clarifying. Cat ears at the next sub goal. That's tempting. Very tempting. I would have to make them though, because they're there, but they will be the wrong colour. I have to make them blend in. I'll have to do some tweaks to them. American culture's like cell phone reception. Some places don't have it. That's so sad. I mean, it could be worse. Like, you know, could be British. British culture, like, it's weird. It's British culture for the size of the island is very, very varied. It's very varied. Like Scotland and like South England are totally different. They're also both totally different to like Northern England and the Midlands. They're also different to Wales. They're also different to Northern Ireland, which is a whole different thing. Yeah. Like, it's quite impressive. Such a small country, so much diversity in terms of culture. Very cool. Atoms were intended to be the smallest particles at first, indivisible, and yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. Like, we start saying, oh yeah, you know, this is called this because of this reason, and then it turns out you're just wrong. That is science. We iterate. Very cool. It's cumulative knowledge. We love that. I mean, even the original where Pony Lad. What? Oh, wait, Link. Wait. Where was it? Looking at My Little Pony. 80s My Little Pony. Yeah, see, I watched this when I was a kid, but I didn't rewatch it during pandemic. I I do remember it being horrifying, frankly. I do remember it being horrifying. There was a lot of very strange things. I remember the kids being in it, yeah. The kids being the de facto leaders. That was odd. I do remember that. The potato head. Oh, I forgot about the potato heads. That's so funny. And then like what was the other one that was like always mixed up with it? Like Care Bears. I used to watch that too when I was a kid. I used to watch that too. There's an ad starting soon. I won't talk about anything interesting. Have I just talked nothing for the whole of the first ad-free segment? I'm so sorry. The Rockwell Retro Encabulator. Yeah, you know Hogan. The Rockwell Retro Encabulator. So nice. Hi, Kawa Komodo. Welcome in. Interesting girl. That's me. I'm not a magical girl. I'm just an interesting girl. Hiding away in the mod channel. That's so cheeky. There's abuse of power and privilege. So true, actually. So true. My tungsten cube allows it. Can't argue with that, to be honest. You're just reading Zizek again? Yeah, it is kind of like that, isn't it? I say spurving bearings a lot. That and rotary girder. Amazing. Amazing. I love that video so much. So I unironically saying in it, I can't help it. It's part of my accent. I can't help the innits. They just happen. So like, okay, in all seriousness, I've tried to train myself out of it, because when I was younger, I had a very, very different accent. And like I used a lot more slang, and I've had to, well, I think partially I trained myself out of it, and partially was just like I kind of had to. I didn't have a choice because a lot of people couldn't understand what I was saying. But yeah, the innit is the one thing I can't get rid of. Like, trust me, I've tried. I've really tried, but I've just accepted that there's going to be like one innit per 50 to 100 words. It's probably more than that, if I'm being honest. It's probably like 20. 1 in 20. 1 in 20 sentences end in innit. Innit. People don't want to be average anymore. Yeah, I don't know if it's like a social comparison thing, because yeah, there's obviously there's a lot more social comparison happening because of social media. That might be a reason, but also just like culture in general seems to be just increasingly looking down on it. Like, I don't know. Like there used to be that kind of cultural narrative around like, oh, you know, just find a stable job and then get married and then have kids and buy a house, and then the kids go away to university and then you can retire and you can go on cruises and then you die. Like that used to be the kind of like narrative, but now I think I wonder if it's part of the fact that there's like active like cultural pushback against that, especially in the younger generations. Because let's be honest, a lot of us have seen that it just doesn't really work anymore. It doesn't work like that. Scotland forever! I agree. Hard agree. Minnesota nice is just passive aggressive. I would like to know what that's like. What is Minnesota nice? Bless your heart, Southerners. It's Midwestern. Huh. This is interesting. I actually don't know what the different regions of the US are. That's the thing. I wonder if I could name all of the states. That's not something I'm going to do now. Maybe later. We should talk about science first. Remember when I said this was a science stream?
Quest 2 Fire Amish Metal Quest 2 Fire.
Yes. Thank you so much for the resub, Hogan. Wait, it's 2 months already? Oh my god. I swear you only joined yesterday. What's going on? Time. It goes too quickly. To be fair, it would be an interesting talk, BDSM culture and its influence on consent in modern times. Yeah, that's true, actually. That would be interesting. Because it does seem to be shifting more towards the kind of model of consent that was traditionally used in, well, still is, used in those spaces. And I do wonder if that's part of the like it's becoming less taboo. But then I wonder what's driving that. Interesting stuff. Don't know how I can link that into anime though. British culture is like 4 different conquerors leaving their mark and then stealing other people's stuff. Irish, Welsh, Scottish, Cornish, yeah. I mean, to be fair, the Scottish kind of flip-flopped. Like, for a while, they were the ones being conquered, and then they kind of, like, tag-teamed. So, variable. Lauren Faust's MLP is the only one I ever saw. Yeah, see, that was the one that I rewatched during lockdown, but then I grew up with, like, the 80s and 90s ones. So, yes. Thank you for embracing our cube. You're welcome. How can I not embrace the cube? The cube is life. In all seriousness, I don't mind it. You're more than your innits. That doesn't mean I won't tease you for it. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's kind of funny. Like, it's a weird, like, little cultural thing about how I grew up that I just can't shake. Like, most people meet me now and they're like, oh, I bet you grew up in a kind of fancy household and your parents went to university and you had a decent life and stuff. And my life was not like that. It was very chaotic growing up. But yeah, like, I don't want to actively, like, you know, disavow my strange childhood, but at the same time, it's like, that's not really where I am anymore, either culturally or mentally. Like, if people are like, oh, you're just, you know, you're just middle class now, I'm kind of like, well, yeah, I guess I kind of am. Like, I'm gonna have a friggin' doctorate, like, I can't argue with that, like. But then, yeah, like, it's never gonna disappear, and that's always gonna be a little part of, like, that just always lurking. But no, I think sometimes I worry it sounds really weird, because, like, I know that I have, like, a fairly posh accent now. Like, in the grand scheme of things, I do have a fairly posh accent now. And, like, class is something that people are really, really touchy about in the UK. Like, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I guess the equivalent would be like race in the US. Like, it's that. Like, it's really difficult to talk about it in a way that is, like, sensitive and sensible and encapsulates a nuance. But it's also something that people have very strong opinions about. And obviously there's a lot of markers of that, and one of them is accent. And the way that I talk now sounds very, you know, grew up in a middle class household, but I didn't. But I kind of am now. Like, I've kind of been adopted into that class. What is the word actually? What's the word? Segment, I guess? The segment of society. I've kind of been adopted into it. I've adapted into it. But then, like, I worry that, like, because people don't know my background, they just kind of, you know, hear the way that I talk and see the way that I present myself, then they're like, oh, you know, the innit is just for attention, you know, she just wants to seem like she's working class, haha. So yeah, it's a bit weird. But then every now and then it does, like, my normal, quote unquote, my normal, like, my old accent does come through, like, especially if I'm talking to people from back home. Like, if I talk to any of my friends that I went to school with, it just comes out and I can't help it. Like, I literally sound like I've moved, like, mentally moved across the country. It's wild. I've suppressed my accent for work, but the mirroring from the tism trips me up. Yeah, that's a bit of it too. I think that, to be fair, we're also, like, there's this thing called, like, autism accent in the UK. I don't know if this is a thing elsewhere too, but, like, in the UK, there's, like, autism accent, which sounds middle class no matter where you come from, because just the way that you process words. And I think I've got a little bit of that going on too, but I don't know why. But I also think it's, like, a result of me living in Ireland, because, like, the way that they talk here, I know for a fact it's influenced the way that I talk, because people tell me, like, if I'm talking to somebody from back home, they're like, oh, the way that you've said that is really Irish. And I'm like, no, it isn't. It doesn't sound like it to me, because I hear such a big distinction between the way I talk and the way that my friends from here talk. But I think there's some things, like, just, like, dragging out certain vowels and stuff like that, which it's kind of weird. It's kind of like met in the middle to make me sound really posh. It's interesting though. It's interesting. There's like loads of different ways that people perceive different accents as well. I remember I had to teach like an introductory social psychology class at one point, and we had this entire discussion around accents because yeah, people like some accents are seen as more like welcoming and friendly, and other accents are seen as like cold but intelligent, and then some are seen as both like warm and intelligent. So I guess the British example would be like northern accents are meant to be really friendly, like Northern English. So the ones that are like, I don't know, what can I say? What can I say? I'll bring up the retro encabulator again. Wait, no, the turbo encabulator. There it is. Turbo encabulator. Right, so like a northern British accent, like a northern English accent would be like, the original machine had a base plate of prefabulated ammonite surmounted by malleable logarithmic casing in such a way that the two main spurving bearings were in direct line with the pentametric fan. I don't know, I read that very badly. I should probably read the history bit instead. An early popular American reference to the turbo encabulator appeared in an article in the New York lawyer Bernard Salwin in April 15th, 1946 issue of Time magazine. So like that was a mixture of a whole bunch of different Northern English accent. It kind of was like part Manchester, part Liverpool. But yeah, they kind of, and part Yorkshire, but they kind of roughly sound like that. Whereas like a posh accent would be an early popular American reference to the turbo encabulator appeared in an article by New York lawyer Bernard Salwin. So like the vowels are very different. So like, for example, turbo encabulator, that's kind of like traditional like cringe Merseyside. I say cringe because my impression of it is cringe, not because the accent's cringe. I actually really like that accent. And then like the posh Southern English would be like turbo encabulator. So like, yeah, the intonation on the words is totally different, and then like the way that the vowels especially are pronounced is very different. But like the first one is seen as friendly but not intelligent, and the second one is seen as intelligent but not friendly. And there's like a whole bunch of different layers of stuff going into that. Scots are the ones that weren't conquered but sold out due to gambling debt. What? They did what? So on brand. Incredible. Nuance on my internet? So true, actually. Academics have a way of speaking truth. That's so true, actually. Academics do have a way of speaking. They really do. It's like halfway in the UK, it's like halfway between middle class and posh, but with like more fancy words. It's yeah. It feels like the word for society class is indeed class. Yes, it is. I had pain. Oh god, I got autism accent by living in Ireland. Please don't. No, I already had autism accent. It's just been like accentuated. It's been accentuated because like I'm not around people with my accent anymore. So like I think my tism is trying to compensate for it, if that makes sense. Because I don't know, it's weird. The way that I pronounce things, like I always got teased when I was younger for like sounding posh, and I think it was the tism accent that I've learned about. Because apparently that's a thing. Like people can be really, really working class and still just like speak in a similar way to I do just because they're autistic. I think, yeah, I probably did that. But I also picked up certain things from where I was living, like the slang and stuff. There was a while where when I went to uni, my accent actually got worse. Not worse, but like it got more intense. As in like the working class part of it got more intense. And I don't know if that was because I was trying to like adjust to the fact that suddenly I went from being bullied for sounding posh to being bullied for sounding common. I don't know. It was strange. It was very strange. University is wild in the UK. It's so strange. Also, Hogan, I just realised I looked over a giant comment. As an analogy for how language changes in science, I used the lettering system to label Saturn's rings. The first ring identified was called the A ring, the second one was the B ring, and so on. But as optics got better, we identified less visible rings closer to the planet. So now the lettering system of the rings is D, C, B, A, F, G, E in order from closest to the planet. That's so funny. I love that. You think that they would just like give up and change it after a while? But then, like, I think astronomy and astrophysics are just particularly bad with coming up with names for things, in fairness, because, like, I get very, very annoyed every time I hear about the very large telescope, and then they're, like, building another one that's the extremely large telescope. Annoying. Think of better names. I need to drink some tea. I've been talking too much. My throat hurts. Oh, God. It's the allergies. No. Time flies when you don't stream. For every day that you don't stream, we age a week. Oh, God. No. You're not allowed to age a week. That's banned. That's banned. Oh, you sound so Irish. Thank you for the compliment. I try. You know, that's exactly the kind of thing an Irish person would say, though. That's the funny part. I didn't realize there's an autism accent, but it makes sense that there is. Yeah, I read a paper about it a little while back. But yeah, it's kind of like, for lack of a better description, it's like an average. So yeah, it's like an average of all of the accents that the person has ever heard. Now, obviously, you know, certain areas are overrepresented, but because there's a lot of like posher accents on TV in the UK, it tends to kind of average out to being a kind of posh sounding accent. So yeah, that's a thing. Can I get a hyperencabulator? You can. You can indeed. I'll get you one for Christmas. Oh dear. Oh dear. In the US, from my experience, academics have a very similar senses of this, like wry humor. You know, I think I know what you mean. American academic humor is very specific. Very specific. Yeah. But like, it's really hard to describe. It's really hard to describe what the humor is. Like, I couldn't tell you what would be a typical academic joke. It's just I know it when I hear it. We're trained to think and reason in a certain way, you have to speak in a professional way as an academic, so it ends up with a style of speaking that's very specific. Yeah, I think it's partially that, and then partially, like, we work with international people a lot. So one of the main reasons that my accent changed was because I actually, like, purposely changed it. Because when I was going through that phase, when I first went to do my undergrad, where I was, when I was kind of subconsciously sounding more working class, I actually had a lot of people come up to me who were like international students or lecturers that'd grown up in another country, and they were like, I don't understand what you're saying. Like, I'm really, really sorry. I think what you're saying is like interesting. I think it sounds interesting, but I genuinely can't understand half of your sentences. Your accent's too strong. And like, I still get it occasionally here now, but I think it's more because people that come to our universities here, like, they get used to hearing an Irish accent, and so then they hear mine and they're like, wait, what? No, don't talk like that. But yeah, it's interesting. It was really difficult for, like, I want to say the first like year, not even a year, but like the first like 9 months of my undergrad, like, there was a lot of people that I was being put in group assignments with that would just genuinely be like, I'm so sorry, please could you speak slower because I do not understand what you're saying, which was painful. And then like they kept asking, oh, what does this word mean? So there's a large number of like international students that went to my course that came out with very good understanding of local slang, so that's good. At least I taught them like stuff, you know? I taught them cultural exchange, I think. Psydere mad scientist when? I'm not mad. I can't be a mad scientist. I'm an ethical scientist. I do ethics stuff, I promise. I'm very good at being ethical. There's no reason why the IRB should ever investigate me. I haven't done anything wrong. I need to drink, wait. I do ethics stuff, same thing Sam Bankman-Fried said. No! No! Oh my god. That's a whole rabbit hole. That's a whole rabbit hole. I would really, you know what though? I find it so interesting how people can use the idea that what they're doing will eventually do good to do really bad things. That's so interesting. Why does that happen? Well, there's lots of reasons, and we have actually a pretty good idea, because that's kind of that's the kind of question that social psychology exists because of, actually. But yeah, I actually don't know much about it though. Like, that's an area that I haven't really looked into very much. Husbando's making lots of background noise. Sorry. But yeah, no, that's an area that I don't actually know much about, but I should definitely look into it at some point, because it's really interesting why that happens. An average about all the accents, that makes a lot of sense. I find myself changing the way I talk if I'm around different groups of people for extended periods. That must be one of the ways autism manifests itself. It is, it's called masking. But also that's actually just a thing that everybody does, regardless of autistic or not. I've forgotten the name for it, but it's like, basically if you've got two people that are talking and their accents are different, both of them kind of shift their accents to be slightly closer to each other. So like, for example, I met somebody the other day who was from Northern England, but over the course of the 2-hour conversation, I felt my accent just kind of slowly slipping towards them. So like, by the end of it, I kind of ended up sounding a little bit like this. I didn't mean to do it. It just kind of happened. But yeah, it's kind of funny how that happens. But yeah, it's like an actual like thing that we do subconsciously to improve liking, because we tend to like people that are more similar to us. Yeah, that's a thing. It's like a inbuilt social mechanism. But it is interesting that it's one of the inbuilt social mechanisms that doesn't seem to be super affected by whether somebody's neurodivergent or not. I wonder why. This is very interesting. Your paper is unhinged and unprofessional. Thank you. Now back from the style to academic merit. For real, I love like wacky writing. I wish that we had more creativity when we were writing academic papers. It's so much fun. So much fun. I do ethics stuff, yeah. Honestly, no, seriously, no. I'm gonna keep thinking about Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm gonna keep thinking about that now, thanks. Thanks for reminding me that he existed. Ethics committee can't stop you if you are the ethics committee. That's true, actually. That's true. Tell Husbando that I'm sorry for stealing Faye Valentine, but it's no reason to lock in the voice mod wrong. Yeah. Yeah, don't lock yourself in the mod channel. How could you? How could you? How could you? Stop being antisocial. Who doesn't love effective altruists? No comment. No comment. Should we actually do some science? Should we do some science? So how long did it take me to actually get to doing science? An hour and a half. Good. Okay. Cool. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see. I want to do this, and I want to do this. Yeah. What else do I want to do? This. There we go. Okay. Right. This paper. Do you remember we read this paper? Play Word Wizard on live with us? It's very tempting, actually. I did enjoy that game. You know, actually, so there's a gaming or chatting or art stream planned for Sunday at 6 p.m. UTC +1. I don't know why I had to think so hard about what time zone I'm in. But I would like to know your opinion. So I think it was VTuber, the group, released Ball, which is like Suika game, but it's like themed around them, right? What do you think about playing it? Because personally, I'm a big fan of Suika game, and I'd like to see if my, you know, training brain manages to, my academic training brain actually translates into being good at games like that. Because I think that's the kind of one where you don't need to be good at gaming. But let's be honest, I will also just be yapping the whole time. So, yeah. You're going to a convention over the weekend? Nice, nice. Enjoy. That's okay. There's always a VOD. You can always catch up on the VOD. Not that you're missing much. I will literally just be yapping. Go for it. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. I don't really know what else to do. That's the thing. And like, I kind of saw it, and I had a bit of a Suica game problem at one point. So I don't have a capture card for actual Suica game. So my heart is telling me that I should do the Goobable. You know, I feel like I should. I feel like I should become one with the goob, the goober, the ball. Yes. Anyway, so a little while back we read this on stream. I say a little while back. It was like November or December. It was a while ago. Lankuri left the voice chat. That's so sad. Lankuri's probably asleep though. Let's be honest. Lankuri's probably asleep. But yeah. So a little while back we read this on stream. High replicability of newly discovered social behavioural findings is achievable by John Protzko and colleagues. It's published in Nature Human Behaviour. It's like meant to be one of the best journals in psychology and related fields. However, it's had this editor note. Can I zoom in further? Kind of. Yes. Okay. Right. It's had this editor note. Readers are alerted that this paper is subject to criticisms that are being considered by the editors. The criticisms relate to the pre-registration and corresponding reporting of hypotheses, predictions, and analyses. We are investigating the concerns raised, and an editorial response will follow the resolution of these issues. So, for those of you that didn't make the stream, which let's be honest, most of you are not watching my streams at that point, so probably it was most of you. Basically, this paper was arguing that if you pre-register a study, so they tried out this new way of like running science, basically. They tried out a new way of running scientific research. So they had groups of like labs, groups of scientists work together. They would pre-register some findings, which means that they registered in advance what they thought would happen. And then they basically bulk ran the analyses. They split it across all of the labs. So they'd run the same thing in, I think, 4 different labs. So there'd be like the one that proposed what they thought they would find, the one that proposed the study, the one that proposed the effects that they would find, and then 3 like independent ones that didn't really, care either way. And yeah, they purported to show that where people pre-registered things and then ran the analyses that they pre-registered, then it was more likely to have a higher replication rate. I think it said that the replication rate got up to, I think it was 95%? 86%. So the replication rate got up to 86%. And the highest replication rate that they reported overall was 97%. So, yeah. That's significantly higher than the average of 50% that we've seen in previous replication attempts. Unfortunately, psychology's kind of struggled with this. We have not been very good at producing consistent findings, hence the reason for this study. But yeah, this editor's note is basically saying, hold up, wait a second. This study about whether pre-registration works as a better way to do science did not report their analyses according to the pre-registration. So the thing that they're advocating for, the thing that they purportedly showed worked really well in their findings, they didn't do it themselves, which is problematic. Holy cow, this is the encyclopedia definition of irony. Yeah, exactly. We achieved something. Editor's note, no you didn't. No, editor's note is we are investigating whether or not they achieved the thing that they said that they would do. Yeah. So I'm going to try one more time to try and find the criticism of this, because I swear I saw this somewhere. Wait, pre-registration. If I type that in specifically, maybe I can find it. I can't. No, because the thing is, they've kind of maxed out the they've kind of maxed out the search engine optimization on this, because if you type in like Protzko et al. 2013, pre-registration, it just comes up with their own study. Quack, yes, I agree. Hi, Countess Variona, welcome in. Hi. Hi. How are you today? I hope you're good. Wait, what's the article about? So, hang on, let me bring up the abstract again. There it is. Wait, no, that's too, wait, no. Wait, we can do it. There we go. Okay, cool. There it is. They reported an investigation by 4 coordinated laboratories of the prospective replicability of 16 novel experimental findings using rigor-enhancing practices, confirmatory tests, large sample sizes, pre-registration, and methodological transparency. So these parts are the ironic parts, because that doesn't seem like what they've actually done. So they're saying that the labs that ran the studies originally themselves are doing that, but they haven't held themselves to that, to those standards in their own analyses and write-up. Yeah, so that's something. Yeah, that's the TLDR. It's kind of wacky. I knew about this for a while. Let me find if I can see the code change history. Change history. No, that's the thingy. Data availability. Where's the pre-registration? If I search pre-registration in this, it's going to be just all of it. There you are. Right, I'm going to turn this off very quickly, just in case. Also, I need to readjust myself. I'm uncomfortable. There we go. Okay, I'm more comfortable now. This is good. Right. Was it this? Yeah. So if I can find one of the what? Wait, what? How does that work? Oh, okay, there's separate components. I was going to say, I just opened up the pre-registration and it just looks like this. Yeah, I can show you this. It just looks like this. And I was like, what? Surely that's not the pre-registration. Surely not. But no, it isn't. There are actually, there's like components down here. Yeah, let's see what the links are. I'll have a quick look through the links and stuff. I don't know why I turned this back off. I'll just keep it on. There's nothing sus on here. Got it. Go away. Let's see. Concepts, effects, file draw. No effect. Manipulation failure. Okay. So these are the individual projects. Components. Is there separate? Yes, analysis plan. There we go. Let's see what this says. Oh. What? I don't know if this is just me not understanding how they've like organized their thing, but yeah. This is yeah, this is confusing. This is confusing. I have no clue how I'd do this with our biotech stuff. You just basically can't. You should start bookmarking things. I do normally, but like I saw it on my other like user account. That was the problem. So I've got it bookmarked on my academic profile, and I forgot to transfer it over to my VTuber profile. Maybe it's not public criticism, like someone told the editors, but they don't want their name attached. That is a thing, but I very distinctly remember seeing this. I remember seeing this criticism and being like, oh, that's the specifics of what went wrong. So I think it might just be, it might have been taken down while they're doing their investigation. That's possible. The thing about journal investigations is that they take ages. So we will probably only hear an update on this. You know what? I've just thought of something, actually. I've just thought of something. I've just thought of something. Hear me out. Hear me out. There's a website called Retraction Watch. Right. Retraction Watch. This is a blog that is specifically dedicated to keeping an eye on papers that are retracted or that have an expression of interest. They have a massive database of like papers that have been retracted. If I I search Protsco. I wonder if I'll be able to. No, they didn't report on it. Interesting. I think I remember them reporting on this. So I think that possibly, yeah, I think possibly it's been taken down while they're doing the investigation. That would make sense. But yeah, I thought we should probably at least address that, because I did basically read it on stream and then go, wow, that's really cool. I love this paper. And then I saw the criticisms like a few weeks later and I was like, oh. Classic. Oh dear. You're gonna lurk and take a well-needed nap. Enjoy your lurk and your nap, Variona. I hope you have a lovely nap. I hope you rest well. Yeah, it was public at some point. I don't know what happened. You know, you can export bookmarks. I do know that. Yeah, I know. I just forgot. Oh, I'm not very good at what's the word? Being prepared. Spreading misinformation. I know. Terrible. Betrayal. I know. I'm sorry. What's that? What else is on my retraction watch? What's going on? Oh no. Science. That's so sad. I don't know anything about that though. What? There's like all sorts of stuff on this blog. It's really interesting. And it's like multidisciplinary. So it covers all the disciplines. There's lots of plagiarism cases at the minute after the whole Harvard scandal thingy. No, it's not MBTI, it's MDPI. It's the journal publisher. They're like really sussy, like open access. Yeah. They always get called out, don't they? They're terrible. They're like, they just publish anything. Even I have an experience of this. Like, I've been invited to a special issue in one of their journals that was just like, yikes. Yeah. And MDPI getting wrecked once more. This is so true. It's pretty bad. Oh wait, somebody's had their thesis retract? Wait, no, a paper was plagiarized from a thesis. Yikes. Okay. Oh no, there's just loads of stuff. But yeah, ever since the Harvard thing, there's been loads of so for anyone that doesn't know, like the president of Harvard or something got like fired for, there was like some stuff in her PhD thesis, I think, that was kind of implying wait, no, it was kind of plagiarism, basically. It was plagiarism, basically. That was the TLDR. And ever since, there's been a lot more focus on that. So there's a lot more investigations into that happening at the minute. It's a miscalculation. At least it's not false data like that autism paper. Wow. Funny you say that. What is going on with this then? Let's find out. Another vaccine autism retraction. What was it? Blogger retracts critique of study that debunked autism. Oh, okay, no. Okay, so it was just a blog. That's nothing. Come on. That's not exciting. That's not interesting. I wanted another paper to be retracted. This is so sad. I'm disappointed. I swear it wasn't planned. That was a bit too good. Like, that was too good. The risks of Scone the bleeding edge, it thirsts for the blood of the users. So true. So true. I also thirst for the blood of my users. Wait, what? No, my viewers. I thirst for the blood of my viewers. Yummy. Secretly a vampire. Sorry, I didn't tell you yet. The very pale skin should have given it away. That'll be the goth Psydere. It'll be, yeah, vampire. The difference between open access and bullying access to your brain. Yes. I squint when I see them in the title. I know. Okay. So that was the what was it again? Expression of concern. Oh my god. Help. I'm struggling and I'm suffering. Oh dear. Help. So Checks out. Not going outside in the sun, nor in the night. I go out in the night sometimes, like once a month. I have to go to Tesco occasionally. Sorry, there aren't any overseas blood transportation in my country. That's really disappointing. I'm gonna organise one. Let's see. Halloween costume, Psy Vampire, genuinely. Vampsire. Vampdere. Nightwalker confirmed for real. Usually have to drag her out. He does actually. He does normally have to drag me out. I'm not gonna lie. So, I think there's 2 papers that I got halfway through and gave up. I gave up. Was it this one? Yeah. Wait, was it this one? No, it wasn't that one. Apparently. Was it this one? No. I've forgotten. I've forgotten. This one? No. I swear we did. Wait. Am I? Wait. No, hang on. Wait. What paper did I start reading? She will psychoanalyze you and get paid in blood. Exactly. Yummy, yummy. Oh, wait, no, I never started reading the one I was thinking of. Okay, I remember now. I remember now. I remember. Okay. I was thinking of a study that I was going to read. I pulled it up ready to read in case I ever wanted to, but then I never got around to it. But there is another one that we never finished, I think, which was the one about critical thinking and something else. Critical thinking for something. What was it? Critical develop oh my god, I'm struggling. A historic wait, let me bring this up. There we go. Perfect. A historical text-based game designed to develop critical thinking skills. Should I make this white? Is it easier to see that way? I will zoom in, definitely. There we go. Okay, and then I'll make it white. Yeah, I don't think we ever finished this. Actually, it looks kind of nicer like that. I'm not gonna lie, it looks nicer. Okay, we'll keep that. Nightkin, yes. It'd be that kind of day. It kind of is actually, isn't it? It is that kind of day where, like, you know, just wanna... I didn't, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even get out of my pajamas today. I just woke up and I was like, no, I'm tired, I'm done. I can't do it. We did a bunch of cloning and now we're waiting for water to cool down because collectively the brain cells have left. That's such a mood. That's such a mood. You remember this one? Wow, how time flies. I know, it was a really long time ago that I did this one as well, like when I started it. I don't even remember what it was about, so we will speed run the beginning. Hi Kuro, welcome in! How are you today? I hope you're good, I hope you're good. Yeah, so I started reading this ages ago and then I forgot to finish it. Where did we get to? I've got highlights. So yeah, so we got to... We didn't even get to the actual game. We were just going through the theory because there was just loads of stuff that was really interesting. So I think that I'm gonna go for a very quick break to fill up my drink and get a snack. And then we will read the paper. Husbando's making snack noises in the background also, I apologise. You're doing good, mainly going to be lurking because it's exam season, but have fun. Oh, good luck with the exams. Good luck with the exams. You'll do great. You'll do great. Yeah, thank you for the lurk. Very much appreciated. We love lurkers here, mostly because I just talk. And it's, if you put this on in the background, you can tell yourself you're being educationed. Wow, good. You're doing something productive. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'll be back in like a few minutes because I need to go get a drink because my throat is seizing up really badly. Your Pi 4 failed a distro update. That's so sad. Oh my gosh. There's just been so many things going wrong today with the tech stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah, I will be back very, very shortly. A few minutes and I will see you all then. But yeah, let's actually do some science. See you in a minute. Hello. I have returned. I definitely did not go to play gacha. Anyway, how are you how are we doing? We all good? We all good? We all ready to learn some science? We all ready to learn some science? I'm not. I don't know what I'm doing. So we started this paper ages ago and we never finished it. It is a historical text-based game designed to develop critical thinking skills by Ivo de Vero and Matthew Barr, both at the University of Glasgow. The music's a tad loud, whoops. Whoops, my bad. There we go, better. That's better. Thank you for telling me. We are ready for science, yes. Can you tell my throat has been struggling? I had to drink and take some medicine and stuff. It was not nice. My allergies are affecting my throat as well, so I might not be able to. I was about to say I might not be able to stream for very long. I've already been going for 2 hours. That's wild. Stream. What's the word? Eat some raspberry jam or sloe gin. Does that work? I don't think I have any raspberry jam. I've got lemons. What if I just suck on a lemon? I think that's a terrible idea. I don't like that. What was I gonna say? Stream. The word is gone. I know what I'm thinking. Endurance, that's the word. Stream endurance is a thing. Like, I could barely cope for an hour when I first started, and look at me now. I'm 2 hours in and I'm ignoring the stress on my vocal cords. What could possibly go wrong? Eat some raspberry pie. Probably we will, to be honest, because the raspberry pie keeps being silly. I don't know what was Husbando saying actually about the pie. Oh, the distro update failed. Oh, what OS? Needing to get around to trying it. Way overdue. Plain Ubuntu server 24 automated with Ansible. Ah, yes. This is a fun fact. I used to use Ubuntu until very recently. Basically, I stopped when I started streaming. I switched to Windows when I started streaming, but before that I used to use Ubuntu. I use Linux. Obviously, because Husbando taught me. Anyway. Historical text-based game designed to develop critical thinking skills. So what was this about again? Let's read the abstract. Designing an intervention that can effectively develop critical thinking skills is challenging. Thank you for the follow, Inkobacco. Welcome in. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing good. Welcome into the lab. So, designing an intervention that can effectively develop critical thinking skills is challenging because of the problems of transfer and domain specificity. The author's design. Oh my god. The author. We've got to the I can't read hours. Good. The authors describe the design and development of a text-based game that could teach players important critical thinking skills in the domain of history. This was achieved by combining Schoen's reflective practitioner model with game-based learning principles. The work contributes to the existing literature because the combination of the models employed allows the game design to address problem of transfer, as well as developing critical thinking skills. Cool, okay. And they evaluated it with a questionnaire. Cool, okay. It was qualitative data. Okay, nice. Right, so before, I believe, we talked about critical thinking. So partially it has a skill component and partially it has a dispositional component. So that means critical thinking is a skill that you can learn, but also critical thinking requires you to be motivated to think critically. So there's like an individual level variance in how much people feel motivated to think critically. Some people are like, they pick apart everything, other people just accept it at face value, and that's a general tendency they have. But regardless, they can be taught it as a skill. It becomes a point of just encouraging them to do it. And then historians have to use critical thinking. They have to pull together a whole bunch of sources and, kind of divide them up, analyze them, be skeptical, pick them apart, work out where there might be sources of bias, and then also pull them together and see what they say about the event, whatever's being studied. Reflective practitioner model. So this was the bit that I was a bit shaky on. I know what reflective practice is, but I've never actually read any theories. I've only ever done it in practice. So it's this idea of, basically, like, you do your work and then you go away and you analyze whether your work went well. Yeah, so what could be done differently? What could be changed? This is talking about all of the different like aspects of that. So there's like the knowing and action, which I assume is like, oh wait, Shone describes knowing and action as spontaneous actions, recognitions, and judgments performed by the practitioner that they're often unaware of having learned how to perform, and typically they're unable to describe the knowledge implicit in their actions. So if you've ever had that thing where you've been doing something for a really, really long time, and then someone asks you a question about like the basics, and you're just like, oh, actually, I don't know. That's what they mean. Yeah. This is the exact problem that Nixos solves. Ooh. I don't know what these things mean. I don't know what Ansible is, I'll be honest. I don't know what any of these things are. I do listen to Husbando talk about them, but I'm also like, I'm not sure. Like, if I can't use it, then the knowledge kind of just, it just goes away, you know? Okay. So, the reflective practitioner model argues that problem solving is a combination of experience and technical know-how. Practitioner does not assume the problem as given. Instead, they aim to identify the particular features of the specific problem they're working on by reflecting on what they can observe and on their previous experiences solving similar problems, which they see as seeing as. When they can relate a new problem to a past experience, then they can do as, where they apply what they know to the problem, even if they can't describe what they're seeing as and doing as. So yeah, it's that idea that like, if you have a new problem put in front of you and you kind of largely know what you're doing in the field, then you can kind of take the knowledge that you've already got and work out where the similarities and differences are, and then apply solutions as relevant. Game-based learning. So game-based learning is basically just kind of what it says on the tin, really. It's where that you learn something through the process of gaming. So it might be, I don't know, if you've ever done those like gamey maths, like the maths games. I don't know, that was a thing when I was in school. Like you play games to learn maths. I don't know if they still do that, but yeah, that would be an example of game-based learning. Should be noted that it's different from gamified learning. The two things are different. Gamified learning is more like you have an app that is specifically about learning that uses elements from games. So like Duolingo is a really good example of like a gamified learning tool, right? It's not a game in itself, but it has things like leaderboards and, you know, points and streaks and stuff like that. It's got the gamified elements to keep you coming back and to keep doing it. It's more about engagement. Whereas game-based learning is more specifically using the game to learn the thing, if that makes sense. Math Blaster, yeah. Yeah, I think we had something similar. I'm pretty sure that we had something similar to that. It wasn't Math Blaster, though. So they developed a game that was set in a fictional fantasy kingdom. They kind of, made up all of the lore around it. And the idea was that roughly you had to piece together bits of evidence to work out what happened. So you're in charge of going through the records and working out what happened in relation to something. I can't remember what. Does it say here? Let's see. What do you do? Oh, investigate the sealing of an ancient witch and establish whether it was the correct thing to do. Yeah. So, yeah, you've got this like historical event and you have to use all of the bits of information to work out whether it was the right thing for them to do or not. You're passing a judgment on whether it was correct. Like using D&D to teach kids arithmetic. Basically, yeah. But it doesn't just have to be maths. Like, you can do anything. So I don't know. What's an example? Well, I guess this is an example, right? The having a game where the entire point is to teach you how to piece together evidence and think critically about it. That in itself is game-based learning. Or like the games where you can go around and like collect something and that teaches you stuff. Those are all game-based learning. D&D is an interesting one. I'm pretty sure that's been done. I know a few people that like do like psychology research in relation to games and D&D and like all about how people, you know, learn things through the stories and stuff. Like I keep thinking I should bring on people to like talk about things at some point, but yeah. Age of Empires teaching me history for real. Like Civ to teach history, this yeah, basically. Basically. That's like yeah, I guess yeah. It's basically that. Or like I don't know, what was it when I was like what's a good example? It's not just ones that are set in that though. Like if you're teaching the actual mechanics of how populations develop through Civ, that would be an example. Yeah. So yeah, like explaining how like civilizations go through the processes of yeah, they go through the processes of developing. Maybe that would be it, but normally like game-based learning is specifically built for that. So rather than being just a game, it's like specifically a gaming platform that is built for teaching. Kerbal Space Program teaching pointy end up, flamey end down. You know what, you say that, but actually Kerbal Space Program is a really, really good example of game-based learning for orbital mechanics. So that's actually not far off. Okay. So yeah, we've read a bit about the story. They, you know, you look through the documents, you try and find the bits of information. So it's basically like a detective game. Like it's like a fantasy-based detective game. But it's specifically in the context of you need to analyze these historical sources. They kind of said here about how you can use a fantasy setting or like an unrealistic setting to like teach things in a way that's kind of like divorced from context in the real world. So yeah, it kind of takes the context away, because if you teach somebody in one specific context, if you're not very, very clear about how it can apply across different contexts, then it tends to get kind of like siloed, basically. Like the knowledge stays within one domain, and sometimes they can struggle to apply it outside of that domain. But yeah, if you teach it within a kind of non-realistic context, then it becomes a bit easier to generalize across different domains. Factorio teaching programming. Yeah, exactly. But maybe it's more like those games, you know, like the simulators. Like maybe that's more accurate. So like for example, surgeons, a lot of surgeons will actually use like VR, or like pilots, they use like simulations, right? I'd say game-based learning, it can be a simulation like that, but that's kind of like realism flipped all the way up, right? Game-based learning, ideally it should be like realism turned down, so it's not a direct simulation, and normally it's teaching you more abstract skills than like how to fly a plane, where you can just model it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like you really have to see a game-based learning tool in action to understand what I'm talking about. I've just thought of one that's freely accessible, actually. Right. I've just thought of one. Where is it? There you are. So, put this away very quickly, and let's show you this. This is Go Viral. This is a game that was developed by psychologists to teach people skills to identify misinformation online about the disease. Yeah, it's about COVID. So if I start this, basically what it does is this is really fun, by the way. I would recommend playing this at some point. So basically it gives you like a whole bunch of text prompts. So welcome to Go Viral. In the next 5 minutes, you'll learn how COVID-19 misinformation goes viral. I'm happy to be here. And don't worry, nothing in this game affects the real world. See it as ruining the magician's trick so you don't fall for it next time round. Okay. Right, okay. Well, let's pick an avatar. No. Yeah, go on then. Let's be Miriam very quickly. So this is what they do. Why is it so far down at the bottom of the page? So you basically have to like cycle through and you choose the post that you think is going to go the most viral. And you know, you get scored on how viral it goes. But the whole point of it is to teach you the tactics that are used in misinformation. So it's like kind of abstracting out, like you're doing this silly little social media game, but you're abstracting out to learn the skills to detect misinformation by doing it yourself, which is really interesting. So I don't know what this is. This is silly. Not this one. Wonder how many COVID divorces will come out of this, friends. Hashtag no. Oh, how I need a quarantini or 5. That's pretty funny, but no. You know what? Let's go with the divorcing one. That clearly wasn't the key to influencer fame. That's so sad. Gonna lose the game. No. But yeah, it keeps going on like that. So it's this game to like teach you basically all of the cursed manipulation tactics that influencers use to get you to react to their posts. It's really something. Kerbal taught me if you stick something into a Saturn V, you can make anything go anywhere. I mean, if you've got the life support systems, maybe. And, you know, enough power to just exist. Maybe also turn it into like a generation ship. It doesn't work, does it? SimCity teaching urban engineering. For real, you probably could teach that with that, actually. Maybe this would teach me how to self-promo on Twitter. Please, no. Don't use that game to self-promo on Twitter. It will teach you all. I mean, it would teach you how to get engagement bait, definitely, but please don't do that. You and I know that is terrible. That is a terrible idea. Just like a mind vaccine. Yeah, so it's funny you say that because the theory that they used to develop the game is actually called attitude inoculation. So it's like inoculating people against misinformation. Because you're kind of giving them a watered down version of the arguments that you would see. But it's in the form of the game, so it makes it easier to remember them because it's like interactive. People are much better at remembering things that they've actively engaged in. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So something I wonder about astronauts, why don't they have a spinny thing for artificial gravity? I think it's just technology. Like, it would have to be pretty big or spin really fast. Because, like, it's centrifugal forces, right? So it's not even like, yeah. It's like, it has to spin fast enough that they would stick to the outside of it, basically. Which is difficult to do with our current technology. That's my understanding anyway. I might be wrong. I'm not a rocket scientist. Right, okay, paper. This part was just about different types of sources used by historians, so primary versus secondary. Is that where we got to? I think that's where we got to. Okay. I'm going to assume that all of this is just like not relevant. So I think they're just talking about how, yeah, they're just talking about, this part is just talking about how different. Oh, wait, hang on. Okay. So the authors also sought to gain a better understanding of the relationship those learning to be practicing historians have with historical sources by, wasn't anything relevant here, was there? No. By surveying current history students at the host institution, so Glasgow, okay, They were a convenient sample of 8 respondents from across different year groups. One respondent explicitly brought up the link between utilising primary sources well and developing critical thinking skills. And 3 more respondents noted that the greatest challenge with using sources for them was to understand their context and possible biases. As a result, the authors deliberately sought to incorporate a wide range of sources into the game to facilitate that key critical thinking skill of a historian, validating sources and weighing them against each other. Very cool. Problem is that your feet will go at a different speed to your head, so getting up or sitting down will make you very dizzy. Oh, really? That's interesting. Also, you have the Coriolis effect, so getting up will also push you to the side. I wonder if you can just get used to that, though. Yeah, my understanding was that, like, for the artificial gravity, like, for the problems to be offset, it has to be really, really big. But I might be wrong. I might be wrong. The final element of the game worth discussing at this stage is the timeline mechanic. Visiting one of the 3 locations and reading a new document subtracts in-game time from the player. They can only read as long as they have enough days to do so. There were 2 considerations which led to the implementation of this mechanic. Firstly, Tosh notes that the extent of an argument a historian may make is limited by the sources at their disposal. Modelling this real-life limitation by restricting the number of sources the player could access was one of the reasons for implementing this timeline mechanic. That's pretty smart, I like that. Secondly, there were also specific game design considerations to be made. Salin et al. Note that play experience is considered meaningful when there's a discernible and integrated relationship between player actions and game outcomes. In other words, players must be aware of what happens after they take an action, and that an action will have repercussions later in the game. The timeline here serves both of those purposes. A player reading a document is made aware that their remaining time has diminished, and they know that as a result they have less time to read more documents, which makes their next choice more important than the last. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just good gameplay experience. That's nice. The bigger the rotation, the less weird effects it has. Yay, I listen. I listen when I learn things. The problem with game learning is that the game part should be good. That's the thing, isn't it? It's so hard to just pull together a questionable game-based learning thing. And yeah, there's a lot of bad games out there anyway. There's especially a lot of bad learning games. So those are complications that you can get used to. The main reason currently is that every keeler going up in space has to get there with a big boom boom. Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to with the modern technology bit. Like, we just don't have the rocket power to do it. And a rotational section is also delicate. That's very true. That's very true. Like, the amount of like absolute incredible engineering that they did to get the James Webb Telescope up is, yeah, that's I can't even envision it. Like, I can't even pick up paper without ripping it, you know. A lot of education games feel like they were half-baked and gave up halfway through. I think so. I think my experience is that a lot of educational games feel like they were made by people who don't play games. So, like, they don't, like, they might have a, like, theoretical understanding of what makes a game good, but they don't have a practical or personal understanding. And, like, when you're doing something creative like that, there's definitely an element of that. Like, you need to be able to have, like, the intuition of, like, oh, this is good. I think also it might be an element of, like, they don't go back and play their own game. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm just doing this to learn, to teach, so I don't need to go back, you know, it's doing the teaching, therefore I don't need to check the actual gameplay experience, which is not the way games should be made from my understanding. Not that I've ever made one, but that is my understanding, that they should not be made like that. In fact, all the examples of good educational games we gave are just games. Exactly. I think there's more, I think it would be much more interesting if we just used existing games that we know are good to teach things. I think that that's probably a much more sensible way to go. Like, yeah, it's specifically educational games. I don't have a good experience with them personally. An alternative I've seen that was wild and French was 2 modules tethered and swinging. What? No moving parts, strong rope, and things they were sending up anyway. That's terrifying. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much. Ugh. Imagine if it just broke and then you're just swinging off into the void. Like, ugh, no. Okay. Several other engineers hated it too. I'm glad it's not just me. I feel validated. What if it broke, came up? I'm glad. That seems like my primary concern, to be honest. Yeah, that makes me nervous and anxious, and I don't like it. Space is terrifying in general. It really is. It really is. Like, just the sheer fact that it's a massive void is terrifying, but then, like, when you learn about the health effects of, like, being away from gravity and, like, radiation and being in a confined space for an extended period of time, it gets even more terrifying. And, like, what if something happens to you? You can't just, like, go to the hospital. You have to come back into orbit, which in itself is very well, not into the atmosphere, sorry, which in itself is very dangerous. Land, which is also dangerous, and then yeah, you have to then get to the hospital. Like, yikes. I also think there should be more studies about repurposing existing video games for education. It would be really interesting. It would be. I feel like there must be a way to make this happen. But yeah, unfortunately a lot of funding for research is all like, oh, make something novel. And it's like, okay, that doesn't mean it's going to be good though. As a VTuber viewer, I think I can get used to it being in a close, confined space easily. Oh god, that's... I hate that I relate to that. We all know what you mean. I have a story, if I may. Please do, please do. Please share your story. Is there anything interesting in this paragraph? I'm gonna highlight this. This bit, this chunk. This can be highlighted. There we go. I think that's the kind of important bit, really. Time to beg EA for grant money. They would never. They barely even fund their own games. They just want they just make, like, half of their games are just like a package for microtransactions, let's be honest. Oh dear. Okay, right. So, game development is iterative design. Through the elements of the... Oh wait, no, though. Oh, my brain. Though the elements of the game discussed in the previous section are grounded in academic literature and their substance did not change throughout the developmental process, that's not to say that specific details within those elements remain fixed. Salin and Zimmerman, 2004, argue that it is crucial for a game to be developed in an incremental, iterative approach early on in its life cycle to ensure the best possible final product. That's very based. Shade thrown. Yes. Right, better ask Valve. At least there's a 50-50 their collective ADHD hyperfocuses on you. This is so true, actually. This is so true. I wonder if I... Wait a second. Is Portal an educational game? Because it kind of teaches you, like, gravity. Teaching educational game devs about Scrum. Oh god, can you imagine? They would not cope. Mum never liked me and brother playing video games. I was supposed to go to medical school, but I fumbled and didn't want to. Father said I could try some computer graduation, so I chose computer science. When I told Mum, she freaked out and almost banished me from the home. She later accepted it, but said if I was pursuing it to make games, I would be for sure banished from the home. That's a bit excessive. I feel like there is a certain generation of people that don't understand at all what video games are. I was going to graduate on computer science to make games. That's so sad. I'm very sorry for that. I hid it from her. I mean, okay, so I had, I didn't have an exactly similar thing, but like I was very explicitly told, like, don't do psychology. You won't make any money. It's pointless and a waste of time. So I kind of get you. I was never, yeah. I never really like just listened though. I just did it anyway. In the end, I never made a game. The graduation doesn't incentivize it to do it. That's so sad. You should try Game Jam sometime though. I've actually been thinking like to join a game jam at some point because I would love to make a game. I don't think I'd be able to do anything like substantial. I think it would probably just be like a visual novel or something because I'm not good. Or maybe we could even maybe even something collective. Everyone could all come together. Everyone could come together and work on it together. That might be fun. But yeah, I'd love to have like a game that like basically like what I showed you, like go viral, kind of similar to that, but like I like visual novels, so I would love a visual novel. But it could be something else that teaches people about misinformation and conspiracy theories and like how to spot them and why, like when to know when it's wrong, when to know when it's being spread for malevolent purposes, and when to know whether there's a chance it could be a genuine criticism of a system. I think that's something that would be really interesting for me to do. Dating sim where instead of dating people you date the personification of mental disorders. Isn't that most dating sims? I feel like that's the setup for most dating sims, to be honest. Isn't that just Doki Doki Literature Club like? Oh no. Medical professional dropouts unite. I never even made it. I never even made it to uni for that. I was gonna go to medicine too, but then my school blocked me from doing it because they said I didn't have the bedside manner, whatever that means. Because I'm definitely not the type of person that would turn up and be like, right, lad, you've got lung cancer because you've been smoking too much. Whose fault is that then? Terrible. Terrible. To be fair, DDLC was explicitly a decon of the genre. Yeah, I know. It's just interesting, isn't it, that the concept's already kind of been done. But I do wonder whether it could be made more educational rather than horror. But then I think that focusing on mental health problems would come with a whole bunch of ethical concerns that would be quite difficult to manage. Whereas, like, if I was making a game about, identifying misinformation, I'd feel a lot more, like, in my comfort zone doing that, if that makes sense. Make a paper about Shiro Emiya and Survivor's Guilt. What? Who? Whomst? It's an anime that I haven't seen or something. Type Moon. Oh, it's a Fate character. I don't know anything about Fate. So, the main character from Fate, I see. Yeah, I know nothing about Fate. I've never played Fate. I like the visual novel format, but I've only ever played like comedic ones, like ones that are kind of making fun of the genre. And then also, obviously we started playing Steins Gate on stream, which we will finish at some point, eventually. But yeah, I should probably play that at some point, actually. I have like such a big backlog of games to play, it's terrible. That is gonna be on the list. Right. Never ask a woman her age, a man how much he makes, and a Fate fan what is the moon. Is Fate the one that's got like a really wacky order to like watch anime and play games in and stuff? Is that the one or is that something else? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Yes, okay. The one with like 25 different installations and everyone's like, how do I even get into this? Is Fate the one where, yes. Yeah. I think, yes, I remember now. I remember it from, I want to say gCoope videos. That it's a meme. I want to say that. Yeah, no, I'll play that at some point. I'll add it onto the... Oh, gCoope made a whole video. I probably watched it. I don't remember. Gig UK. Yes, exactly. Gig UK Arizona. Yeah. Husbando always tells me that I should add a redeem where I do a Sid Snap impression. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Anyway. Where were we with this? Yes, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. One day, no. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's too unhinged for you, do you reckon? Do you reckon? Do you want me to do it? And then you can decide whether it's unhinged. It is pretty unhinged, to be fair. After Rin Penrose. Exactly. Exactly. It needs to be after Rin Penrose. I haven't worked out how to do a Rin Penrose impression. I feel like Rin's got mostly like a distinctive laugh, but I can't replicate it for the life of me. It's really hard. Yes, hey guys, it's your girl. Wait, I have to back away. Wait, no, I'll just turn this down. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. Hey guys! No, wait, no, that wasn't right. My throat's kind of messed up. Wait, let me drink first. Let me drink. Hey guys, it's your girl! How was that? Was that accurate? Was that a lore accurate Sid Snap introduction? Prepare the clip, please don't. Hey guys, it's your girl! Clippable, please no. Please no. Get me to do it again when my voice isn't messed up from allergies. I can do it better than that, I swear. Right now I've got like the voice that would probably be better for doing Rin, but I don't know how to do it. The American is strong. No. It's just that because I've heard her say it so many times. I can just copy it because I've heard her say it so many times. No, I could not do it. I could not do an accent. I could not do it. I can barely do an English accent, let's be honest. Right. Paper. It's happening again. I need to finish in half an hour and we've not got anywhere further through the paper. Come on. Let's go. Okay. Right. Oh no, not the clip. Not the clip. Thank you, Orishiro. I'm never gonna live that one down. Okay. Right. Paper. Ouch. I meant to do that. Paper. Right. So, iterative process. So, yeah, incremental iterative process. Blah, blah, blah. Cool. Following a user-centered system design approach, think aloud evaluations were carried out in which the user was asked to interact with the system and voice their thoughts out loud. As the user is asked to voice their thoughts in context, the feedback a designer can capture is quite detailed, uncovering insights which might otherwise have gone unvoiced. These think aloud evaluations lasted for 30 to 40 minutes each, with an additional 20 minutes of follow-up questions based on game-specific usability survey designed by Fullerton 2004. Cool. I like that. I find user research really interesting. I would love to do it. Sounds very cool. Sydney looks a bit weird to me. Wow. Oh dear. I need to get like a blonde toggle for next time. I'll do like a full-on Sid Snap cosplay. Oh god. Actually, the worst thing that I've noticed is that since we've been having Fillion on in the background a lot, I've picked up her laugh, you know, the kind of like, like the weird kind of giggle. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's terrible. I keep catching myself doing it and then I'm like, no, stop that. Stop that. Oh my god. So many clips, I'm gonna cry. Right, we're here for science, not for Sid Snap. We love the chat. We do. Thank you for clipping. It is. I do actually really appreciate it because like I'm very bad at clipping. I don't ever know what to clip. You'll know what to clip. But no, we're here for science. Let's do some science. Okay. Following the no wait. Did I read that yet? Are you sure? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Personification is the purest form of science. This is true, actually. Maybe I should just do an entire stream where I just do like impressions of people. That'd be quite funny. No, let's not do that. That'd be terrible. That's terrible. No. Right. So, following the advice of Fullerton 2004, the authors judged that creating a paper prototype would be an appropriate first step. Oh, interesting. Okay. The paper prototype was a collection of slides which together represented every possible screen in the game. The researcher would manually tab through these screens at the request of the evaluator. That's an interesting way to do it. Okay, so they've drawn it out on paper. Hey, interesting. Nothing more iconic than Sai saying a great stream idea, followed by that would be terrible. It's because I'm British. It's the Psydere British energy. I can't help it. Oh no. Impressions. I can't do anything though apart from Sydney. I don't know what else I could do. Like I don't even know how to. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with that. My voice acting debut, incredible. That's one of the post-graduation streams is my voice acting debut. I'm changing career to be a voice actor. I actually think it'd be really fun to do loads of like meme career change streams where I learn about other stuff or I try and do other stuff. Like that genuinely sounds fun. I don't know if it's the like I want to drop out of my PhD and open a coffee shop brain happening, but I don't know. Exploring more stuff like that sounds fun. I like it. Okay. April Fool's ideas. I have an April Fool's idea that I was going to do this year and then I didn't because I forgot it was April Fool's, which was very, very annoying because I like planned stuff out. Like I had a whole thing ready and then I woke up and it was like the 3rd of April and I was like, wait, what? Good morning, Countess Variona. Have you woken up from your nap? I hope it was a good nap. Hope you're feeling good. Hello once again. Yes, yes. Yes. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, paper. Right. Okay, paper prototype. So they've made a paper prototype. They've drawn out stuff and they're giving it to people. That's cute. I like that. This evaluation confirmed the appeal of the storyline and the participant was able to successfully assemble their case, giving early evidence of the potential of the game to develop historical critical thinking skills around questioning documents. However, the initial user interface sketches were thought to be confusing and the lack of an automated timer was identified as a problem. A software-based prototype, complete with an on-screen timer and revised UI, was therefore the next logical step. Yeah. That makes sense. To then do a... Okay, like, you're making a video game, so that makes sense. Wait, this is a video game, right? I just realised they said game-based learning, but game-based learning can be board games as well. That was an oversight. I'm better, not overheating, so that's nice. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm glad you're doing good. You can't overheat in Ireland. We don't have such a thing here. It caps out at like 25 Celsius. It's not possible to overheat. I kind of miss hot weather sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, right. So they did the software prototype. They decided to retain the medieval aesthetic through the beige colours and serif fonts, but otherwise opted for a more modern, flat interface that is contemporary trend in web applications. Very cool. Ah,
Good
hi,
morning,
Lankuri. Niall. Newell. Good morning, Newell. Yeah. Hi, Lankuri. Good morning. Thank you so much for the resub. I can't believe you've been lurking around for 4 months, saying funnier things than me. You've been showing me up for 4 months. I hope you're good. I hope you had a good sleep. I assume that's where you are. Or where you were, sorry. But yeah, welcome in. Lankuri for Discord mod. Can you imagine the chaos? That'd be incredible. If not, Exxon has its way. Oh, not if Exxon has its way. That's so true, actually. It was 30 today. So 30 Celsius. Ugh. No, thank you. Too hot. Too spicy. Not about that. Thank you very much. I would not cope. Actually, no, I kind of do cope. I don't know. I'm kind of weird. Like, I'm okay in hot weather, but I also kind of just shut down. It's strange. I don't know how to describe it. It's odd. It's odd. Think of the content. Guardian of the VC. So true, actually. It would be funny content. Extremely true. Your wisdom is impeccable. This is why he's the manager. This is why he's manager. Oh my god, did you clip the... You clipped the nya as well. Classic. Why? What? Nobody ever clips the science. There's only ever clips for like me saying strange things. This is fine. This is fine. It's okay. It's okay. There's not a single problem if all of my colleagues find me going, yeah, that's fine. Going into suspend mode. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, actually. It's like, I sleep now, but like, not really. I'm kind of still working, but I kind of sleep. Hot weather. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I would kind of like some hot weather right now. It would be nice, but it's only nice if you can go outside. Like, if you're having to sit inside and do work at a PC and it just gets hotter and hotter and you don't have any aircon, that's not nice. Because we don't have air conditioning here. Like, the buildings are specifically designed to trap heat, so that's not fun. Right, okay, so user experience improvements. No existing research shows whether educators saying yeah improves student retention and engagement. It's legit. That's so true, actually. That's true. I should study. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Grant proposal to research this. Do cat girls have better educational retention than humans? It's the first step. It's the first step. I'm just saying. The rain is the cooler of the people. Here it's just like constantly raining. So yeah, sometimes it's cold rain and sometimes it's hot rain. It's just always raining. The grant writes itself. Exactly. Exactly. Who's not gonna fund cat girls? Like, I would just also approve it if I was a funder. Grant for having catgirl Psydere model and research that. I can make a catgirl model right now. Like, I can literally end the stream and make a catgirl model. Like, if I want to. I can also put myself in a maid outfit. Why is this a thing? Why is this a thing? Catgirl model hype. No. No! I'll do a redeem. Let's do it. If we'll do a redeem. We'll do a. You can all put your points in for me to do a catgirl model. I don't know. Let me. Husbando, sort out a. Wow. Wow. For real. The Ara redeem right now. As though I haven't been clipped enough already this stream. No. Okay. Okay. Do you have any Ara preferences? Shots fired. Do you have any preferences for what kind of Ara I should do today? Not the void. Not the void. No, I'm not doing the void. I won't do the void. I won't do the void. I'll do it properly. Not the void. Yes, the void. What if I want to do the void? My throat's already hurting enough anyway. I'm not doing the void regardless. I'm just gonna Google something. I'm gonna find a quote. Find a line. Something I can say. Or I need an Ara quote that I can read out. I'm not good at this. Was the void the scary one? Yes, that was it. That was it. Oh my gosh. Yes, the void actually. Feeling cute, my Ara into like a creature of the void. So true. Ara research. What kind of researcher say? Like, Ada, you're looking very experimentable today. I'm not saying that. What is else? What else is there? What could... No. Wait, I just found somebody on LinkedIn called Ara. Ara. There's no way. There's no way. Let me find the... Oh my god. That's so bad, but I'll do it. Unless Husbando has any Husbando, you have 10 seconds to disapprove of this one, unless you can find something better or different that you prefer or whatever you prefer. Go for it. Okay. Wait, I need to drink water first. This is so cursed. I hate this so much. Okay. Actually, my throat's really bad, so I might do this really badly. I'm sorry in advance. Okay. Ara researcher-kun, your science looks magnific today. How was that? Terrible. Probably too quick. Ara. How was that? Is that better? Yeah, I'm gonna go die now. I'm gonna go hide in the fridge. Brilliant. Oh my god. Clip it for the V-Theorem cinematic trailer. No! No! Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. To be fair, that's our brand now. Oh my god. It's gonna be like me saying ada and yeah. And then it's gonna be like Nep burping. And then it's gonna be you eating weird things. Like, that's our brand. We swear we're educational, guys. We swear this is science. Can you imagine? No. How did I end up the most say-so here? I don't know. How to embarrass your wife? He's bullying me. He's bullying me. My husband's bullying me. Please make it stop. Oh my gosh. Wow. Your chat bullies me. This is true, actually. This is true. You do get bullied quite a lot. So do I, though. It's fine. It's just bants. It's just bants, innit, lads? It's just crack, like. Oh my god. I do wonder how you ended up the most say-so far. I do wonder that. Oh my god, no. I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Oh no. This is so bad. Yeah, the next one. Remember, somebody remember this. The next one can be ada participant kun. You're looking highly experimentable today. There you go. You can have that one for free. I'm gonna forget it before next time, so somebody remember. Thank you, Clippers. Watch out your PayPal. Wow. Oh my gosh. My managers have my account. They're gonna be so confused. I actually did have one of my managers be like, wait, why is there ASMR? And I was like, the chat made me do it, I swear. Wait, I've just realised my tracking's really off. 1 second. I disappear. I disappear. Okay. I'm back. I would want $1 for that. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so painful. So painful. It's fine. It's fine. It's just banter, is it not, lads? It's just banter. Ha 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 ha. How's the paper? That's a good question. Shall we read it? Oh, we need to finish soon though. I'm hungry. Let's do the iteration. Let's read about the iterations. Why is it that every time I try and read this paper, I actually just like read 1 page at a time? We're reading? Yeah, we're meant to be. Oh, terrible. Terrible. Okay, right. So they did their software prototypes. They got some feedback. So iteration 2, user experience improvements. This iteration was the first set of think aloud evaluations the authors conducted to improve the game, which yielded both reassurance that certain aspects of the game were strong and suggested directions for improvement. Participants noted that the story was the strongest aspect of the game. However, participants also noted that they did not recognise how aspects of the UI were intended to work. The operation of a slider, for example, was not well understood, and the clickable nature of certain areas of the screen was missed. These issues related to the discoverability of features. The UI was therefore revised to denote all of the interactive elements with a specific blue colour, which would stand out from the non-interactive elements. Cool. Colour. Not helpful for everybody, but it's helpful for some. Oh my gosh. So many clips today. You're on fire. You are on fire, Orashiro. You are destroying it and destroying my reputation as a serious educator along with it. That's fine. Okay, right. Iteration 3, further user experience improvements. I should be working right now. I probably should too, in fairness. I should be writing my PhD thesis right now, but you know, it is what it is. Right, further user experience improvements. 3 new participants evaluated the game at this stage. There was, again, consistency in the remarks on what the game was doing well and on areas for improvement. All 3 participants noted that the story was the element which drew them in the most, and they found that learning more about the world and the story as they read documents an appealing mechanic. Very nice. The core of game mechanics fun. The clips don't make themselves. This is true. You're like the lead clipper at this point. There was no hesitation as they clicked on the now blue text anchors, for example. This suggested that the problem of discoverability had been addressed. Oh, we got a screenshot. So nice. How does it... Has this been recolored? Yeah, there you go. That's what it's meant to look like. Very cool. So in the final iteration, at this stage, the game was evaluated with 1 think aloud evaluation and 5 remote evaluations, at the end of which the authors compiled the survey based on Fullerton 2004 in written form. So, actually, wait, hang on, let's turn this back on. There we go. So, actually, not so keen on the contrast on those links, to be honest, but it's fine. Right, so they've got extracts from the King's Letters, Treasury Reports, Kingdom of Evernear Volumes 1 to 3, and Population Census. So those are their documents. And you can type in, or you can drag in sentences from each of those and, you know, fit them into the categories, whether they defend the position, whether they challenge the position, whether they emphasize things. Very cool. And then you can put where you are on the slidey scale. Okay. Nice. So the feedback was mostly positive. The 5 remote participants all expressed a clear understanding of the objective of the game, ranging from travel around to do research and produce a compelling argument, to more nuanced answers like analysing information to find contradictions in the story, to potentially prove the innocent or guilt verdict of the witch. All respondents also stated that they had no issues with the controls of the game. Cool. It's really interesting to see how like user research is actually implemented into an iterative game development process like that, because like I kind of knew how it's done, but I've never seen it in regards to like a educational game like this. That's very nice. I think once again we're going to have to come back to this another time. We will finish this paper one day, but we've got to the evaluation, which is basically the results section, so that's good. That's an improvement. But yeah, it is almost 9 p.m. here, so we need to go make dinner soon, I think. I'm hungry. I'm a hungry little magical girl. I want to eat something. I don't know what, actually. I don't know what we're having tonight. Should have gone on Food Guesser. We're not doing Food Guesser today. I don't want. I want to play it by myself. You know what, actually. Fine. We'll do Food Guesser. Will we do Food Guesser? No, we won't do Food Guesser. I'm too tired. My throat hurts. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I need to go and make dinner. What about Husbando's pancreas? Yummy. Yummy dinner. Right. Yes, Food Guesser for dinner inspiration. I can't. My throat is actually really hurting right now, so I think it's time for to stop. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is an anime. I knew that, but I haven't watched it. So yeah, I probably should. Watch it. Right, who should we go and raid today? Let's see. What is going on? Who can we raid today? Is there anyone I know? How do you feel about watching someone play Arknights? What do you feel about Arknights? Any opinions? Any opinions on Arknights? I don't have any opinions because I don't know what that is. Maybe we could go there. What are the other suggestions? Raid channel. Let's have a look. Or Yakuza. What are you feeling? Are you feeling Yakuza or are you feeling Arknights? Oh, Arknights. It exists. Yeah, that's how I feel about it too, to be honest. That's how I feel about it too. That's the thing that Laurent used to be obsessed with. Who? I don't know who that is. Yakuza good. Leaning towards Yakuza. Leaning towards Yakuza. What are we thinking? Yakuza or Arknights? Please put Yakuza if you want that, or Arknights if you want that. Nico's your PhD. We raided Nico the other day though. It's a bit weird, I think, potentially, to go and raid again. It's not weird, but like, I don't know. It was literally like last stream, so it feels a bit oppressive. Yakuza? Okay, we're getting consistent Yakuza. Cool, cool, cool. Let's do that. So in that case, let's go and raid Tepanya. Tepanya is a medical student, I believe. So very relevant to our previous discussion about not going to do medicine. Stalker raiding. It is a bit stalker, isn't it? It's stalker raiding. I love strange people on the internet. Me too. Me too. The series is in development on Amazon. What, a Yakuza one? That sounds pretty cool. That sounds cool. But yeah, I'm gonna start the raid in a second. But thank you all so much for coming. Thank you for joining the stream. That's very cool. I like that. My voice is giving in. My voice is giving in so bad. It's getting pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, thank you for joining. It was fun. We didn't do much science in the end, but you know, we did enough science. We did enough science. Hope your voice gets better. You're welcome for the stream. My voice will probably get better. I think it's just because, yeah, allergies are just irritating it. So yeah. Deep voice from the void. I don't even know how I did that last time. I don't think I could do it again. Like, void. How did I do it? Was it like that? I don't know. I don't know. There needs to be a void Psydere. Maybe that can be the goth one. Void Psydere. Yes, okay, it was like that. Oh my gosh, it's awful. It's terrible. It's so cursed. We'll do goth Psydere. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It will happen eventually. But yeah, let's go and raid Tepanya. Let's go say hi. I'll do the raid message again actually, because I need to also copy it. Otherwise, I'll forget to do it. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining. We didn't do much science, but it was fun. So that's the most important thing. I just yapped, let's be honest, but it's fine. It's fine. We had fun. It's all good. Looks like Tepanya is playing Yakuza 3 Remastered, so which I've never played, so that's cool. I don't know anything about the Yakuza series. I think I've got one of the games, but yeah, I don't know anything about it. Next stream is on Sunday. It's scheduled for 6 p.m. like, you know, British Isles time. But I might be late. And I might also, yeah, I might just be really late. There's a non-zero chance I'm going to be really late. So I apologize in advance for that. It is what it is. Please accept it. I apologize. Life goes brr sometimes. I will be out touching grass and I can't guarantee I'll get home in time. But yeah, I will definitely stream. It just might be at a weird time. I apologize if I'm late. I will let people know. But yeah, thank you for joining and let's go say hi to Tepanya. And yeah, have a lovely rest of your day, whatever time zone you're in. Have a good day or evening or morning or whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye.